What is up, guys? So Raven here, welcome comic book fam. The King is coming, the King in Black is coming, and it opens in the Symbiote Spider-Man, and this is going to be a review of that issue, and there are going to be spoilers to that story at the very end. I'm going to probably tell you when I'm going to hit at the point with the spoilers, but everything on the cover is kind of true, which is not a spoiler by any means. So there was a lot of fuzz about that comic book. Before I'm gonna now go like, is it good, is it bad? There was a lot of fuzz because of this character over here, and many thought that's gonna be a first appearance. Actually, no, that is not a first appearance of this character. That is, I believe, second appearance. Which again is still quite good. So, Symbiote Spider-Man, the first tie-in book of issue number 1 out of 5 for the King in Black. Of course, this is the story in this book and in the Symbiote Spider-Man is prior to the King in Black event, so you'll see a lot of, seeds planted in the past that kind of, happened later on. So the book opens in the regular way, right? We know, again, we can open it right here, like, gently. So we got, a quick glimpse of what was happening, and we jump into Symbiote Spider-Man, because that is when Spider-Man was a symbiote. And we learned that in Ravencroft, in this mental asylum, there lies a guy, I can't remember his name, Alistair. There's an Alistair that he can't walk, but he sees his dad. His dad is actually a symbiote of some sort, and he tells him, like, hey, listen, I can make you walk, I can make you do all of that, but you have to, like, kill all those people. You have to, put the gas there. And as this is happening, the Watcher is being abducted. One thing about the Watcher being abducted that I kind of didn't like is that we have, the story Who Killed the Watcher, which is canon, and the end, like, what's happening to him later, it's like, you kind of know what's gonna, if it's gonna have an impact or not. Like, those are, like, really weird things, but what can I say? So of course, we've got, our Spider-Man, we've got the Peter Parker going to Daily Bugle, and Jonah Jameson tells him, hey, listen, Parker, you gotta go to this Ravencroft. There is this weird guy, like this villain that murdered a lot of people, that, tries to help other people now, that tries to be reformed, which is the same guy that, we saw in the first panels. That's the same villain. So, of course, we got Peter Parker going. And as we have that, we jump straight into the Watcher being abducted, and he's being abducted by the Kang the Conqueror, that we learned he came from the future, which is, like, came from the future. Why? He is a villain, right? Like, that's what when I saw that, I was like, but he's a villain, like, what is happening? So he abducted the Watcher because he thinks that Watcher saw something that might help him in the future to fight this big threat, because he says, in the future, there is just something's gonna happen. It's gonna destroy everything, and he went back in time to save the world. And we know this is probably the King in Black. But as he's accessing the memories, he had no idea that, of course, Watchers has a psychic power, so his ship is being destroyed. He is being out there in the space, and he has the greatest line ever, which is, of course, try to save the universe, and this is what happens. Fabulous, right? And he is right over here. As in the Asylum of Ravencroft, the Alistair's plan, the Venom's plan, right, actually is happening. Symbiote, not Venom. Symbiote's plan is happening. Everyone is inhaling special gas that turns them into those, like, weird parasites, symbiote things that are not becoming themselves. And we've got, the panel with transformation right over here. It's a really cool thing. And as this is happening, we got also the moon eclipse, sun eclipse going. Of course, we got a Venom Spider-Man, Symbiote Spider-Man fighting those parasites. Those people are his friends and his colleagues, the workers, and he is trying to battle against them, and that battle is quite easy. But then of course we've got the reveal, and if you don't want to know who that is, that's gonna be a spoiler, so wait like 5 seconds. I'm gonna just say that actually that man on the cover is going to, is now Alistair, but it is a Mr. E, and Mr. E was actually introduced way, I believe in 1980s in The Amazing Spider-Man. So again, just seeing him back. And something weird happens, just, that Mr. E just says like, hey, you're my brother. Because he's looking at the Venom, right, at the symbiote, and he was like, oh no. So Spider-Man tries to fight him, tries to battle it out, but he can't really, because, well, he goes through Mr. E's body. But he remembers that, well, I've punched him for the first time where he was surprised, so what do I do now? Well, you gotta focus. You just gotta Spider Sense guide you, and as it's getting guided, he smacks him hard, and as Mr. E just grows bigger and bigger and bigger, we got a Moon Knight coming from nowhere, just here to save the day, to help. He launches the sword into the heart of, like the heart, if you can have, into the chest of the Mr. E. He's pinned down. He is pinned down to the ground, but is able to escape. And we know through all of that, it's like he keeps saying, he's coming, he's coming, he's gonna be there, it's gonna happen. It's really, it's pumping you up for that big event. And, well, in the space, our drifting bad guy finds himself with a Rocket Raccoon. I think it's a great introduction to the story. Honestly, Planet of Symbiotes, a great start of the event. You've got the mystery, right? He's coming, you've got that, the seeds, were planted way back in the past, where Peter Parker was the symbiote, right? And when Mr. E was plotting, so as I said, right, if you go back to the True Believers, if I've uploaded, if not, it's this Friday. So if you go back to the True Believers, you will have those like your little glimpses of that past, of that future, all what can possibly be, of the characters that might be brought back, that were obscure but they're being brought back, and this is exactly one of those characters. One thing that it's really worth knowing here is that you don't really know what happens to the people that are infected, which I think we're going to see next issue, because there's again 5-issue story. So I want to know what happens to the people that are infected. What he saw. Does he really want to save the universe from the King in Black, or does he have a different purpose? What happens to the Watcher? Why Rocket Raccoon is alone without the Guardians, right? We know there is a Guardians of the Galaxy time in the Guardians of the Galaxy number 10. Well, probably, again, this is going to be in the modern time. That is the past. So I think just first issue of that whole event, which is, again, this Symbiote Spider-Man, I think it's just a great start. It's a great starting point. I'm not going to lie. It's a great way of adding something fresh, something new, and just planting the mystery. Why this is happening? What is going on? Why the sun? Right, why the sun eclipse happened. So many questions, and honestly, so little answers. Let me just put it back to this amazing back and board. So what is my review of that whole thing? I think, the story is great. Oh gosh darn it, like, you see like some bags and boards, like they are. There we go. I feel like the story is good. The art itself could have been a bit better. I do think, yeah, there we go. I do think it could have been a bit better, but it's not the worst. It's not the worst art. I don't like, the way Peter Parker's face looks like, but the other things, so like the general, we got, all those characters. I think the art style is good for that. Faces might have looked a bit better. just the storytelling, simple, exciting. Like, I wanted to know more already, and I think, you know, that is the purpose of the tie-ins. You want to know more. You want to go to that. It's really of the tie-ins that's number one, that you want to know more. And I really do want to know more. So I think, you know, as a start, as the beginning, it's a solid 7 out of 10 right here. Because maybe I'm going to change that as we're going to go on, you know, on the whole series. But as a start, it's a high note. It's a 7 out of 10 from me. 7.5, we can even say. A great start to the King in Black world. And I can't wait. I genuinely can't wait for the King in Black, because you don't really know. And I want heroes to maybe not lose at the very end, right, in March or April, but to really, you know, I want them to have the sacrifice, to lose something along the way. So that is my review of the Symbiote Spider-Man number 1. I hope you enjoyed that. If you enjoyed that, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more videos like that. But in the meantime, goodbye, because I have a fantastic rest of the day. Take care. Bye.